Can anyone run the Boston Marathon? Technically, yes, but also no. So let me explain. So there are a couple different ways to run the Boston Marathon. One would be by a qualifying time. So by each age group, and whether you're male or female or non-binary, they have certain time cutoffs based upon your age that you have to meet to be able to run in the Boston Marathon. So for my age group, the time cutoff is 2 hours and 55 minutes. So if I run below a 2 hour and 55 minute marathon, then I would qualify for the Boston Marathon and have the opportunity to run if not too many people ran faster than a 2:55. Because if too many people do, then you might get cut and not get to run the Boston Marathon, even if you met the qualifying time. So for example, let's say I run a 2:54 and I beat the qualifying time, but so many people ran it that year that they are only accepting a 2:52. That would mean I would get cut. I would not get to run the Boston Marathon. My phone fell. I would not get to run the Boston Marathon and would have to try again. The second way that you could run the Boston Marathon is by fundraising. You have to fundraise a considerable amount, and there are certain organizations that are allotted a certain number of bibs, and if you fundraise for them, then you could get to run the Boston Marathon. The third way, and I really do not know how this works, but I've heard that certain brands and companies may have a certain number of bib numbers. You might call them celebrity bibs or a sponsored runner or whatever you want to call it. And so if you work with that company or you're doing a brand deal with that company or something, you may get to run the Boston Marathon. There could be other ways, but that's how I know you can run the Boston Marathon. I personally try to qualify every single year, and I've qualified 3 times, but I've only gotten to run it once because I got cut the other 2 times. The qualifying standards are pretty intense, and it takes a lot of training to qualify for the Boston Marathon, but it is extremely, extremely rewarding. And as I said before, the Boston Marathon was the coolest experience ever, and I would recommend anybody to do it if they have the opportunity.